Welcome back to More Moss to the People. I am Asa Nilsson and I am your host. Today, I have a dear friend, my beautiful friend, JoAnn Higa, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. Hi, JoAnn. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Asa.
Oh,
Thanks for
God.
having me.
My girl, I've never known anybody from Las Vegas. You are my one and only friend that I have, excuse me, met, really, except now for Marcy
Yeah,
Hershey,
yeah, yeah.
who lives in Las Vegas. I've never been there. I know people that have been there for all the trade shows and all the gambling and all that, but I just think it's so fun because knowing you and how how peaceful and gentle, to me, you're just like the polar opposite of what I would think would be the person that's living in Las Vegas, which I know is so ridiculous, but um, talk about some old thoughts, right? Um, I cannot wait to get into our beautiful discussion today, but first I want to start by asking you to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are in the world today.
Yes, well, just as you mentioned, I was thinking I seem to be polar opposites in several planes. So not
And I love
only
that.
do I live in Las Vegas, if you know my personality, you wouldn't immediately associate that I am a Scorpio. And also my middle name is Haruko,
Haruko.
which means spring child
Mhm.
in Japanese, but I was born in the fall. And one more thing, my birthday is on Halloween, and I do not like scary movies or that whole deal
Mhm.
around that happens
Yeah,
around Halloween.
yeah.
So I guess I'm a bunch of contradictions maybe, but
No.
who am I in the world today? I would say it shifted in the last couple weeks in the
Mm,
things that have been coming up. Today I am looking at generational healing
mm,
that has come up, and I really want to delve into that. I want it to be true healing in a way that, I don't want to walk through life, quote unquote, doing the right thing. I want it to come out of my heart. I want to be acting
mm,
from my heart, from my truest self, so
mm,
with no restrictions, just pure love.
mm.
That's who I am today, I would say.
Good night, Irene. What a beautiful introduction. I almost started crying. See, this is why I love you, because you think a conversation is going to go one way and it goes completely the opposite way with you, which every single time you and I, just so people know, so anybody listening knows, I met JoAnn in a private group called the Support System, where this woman by the name of Sherry Salata, this beautiful soul who runs this private group, she has it's basically women. It's a support group for women who are in a this age group now where we're starting to look at ourselves and really kind of doing a journey and a deep dive into ourselves and our hearts and our souls and who are we and what am I doing here and what do I want to do here? And so I met you in this group and I loved you in this group and I took you from this, I plucked you for myself from this group because I just thought you're very quiet, you're very introspective to me, you listen so beautifully, and you're so present in everything that you do, and that is a personality trait that I so admire because I have spent my entire life running as fast as I can and towards God knows what, right? I'm just running because I'm a pretty fast-paced person, and you're so different. And so, because I believe that we're all mirrors of one another, when I see you, you calm me down and you make me more present. You make me want to be a better woman and to understand the generational healing or the generational hurts, or to have a deep and solid conversation, which we do on average every month. We meet for about
Mhm.
an hour a month and we just talk about life,
Yeah.
and we talk about everything, which I love. And one of our biggest main topics, areas of discussion, are our moms. Right now, you have your mom living with you, and I am sitting in my mother's home in the USA. And this is one of the biggest honors of my life, to be a 56-year-old woman and sitting here so close to my 87-year-old mother and being able to do whatever she needs me to do,
Mhm.
to honor the mother. And that it hasn't always been that way. I mean, for me, this is kind of like an evolved relationship, how we have gotten to this point. And I want to talk to you about your process and where you're at right now, because I think it's you. Let's start with your voyage that you just took, your journey that you just
Yes.
took. Let's talk a little bit about your heritage again, where you are from, where your family is from, and how you have
Mhm.
just taken a beautiful trip. Let's start there.
Yes, yes. So, my family's from Okinawa, Japan, a little island south of the main island of Japan. And earlier this year in April, me and my sister took a trip out, and my niece and another friend from Japan. And we went to Okinawa for 5 days just to look to see if we had relatives there and to do some research.
Mm.
I had some documents which I I left at home. So, but shockingly, they were able to help us find a second cousin of my mother's. He's like, I don't know, 84 maybe. So, Mr. Takemoto, I call him. So, once we found him, we came back and thinking, wouldn't it be great if we could take mom and then her sister and then her brother uh, to meet him? So
Mm.
our uncle couldn't make it, but my aunt could. So
Mhm.
we started the process. My mom didn't have a passport, so we started that process and we went. Took my mom, me and my sister took my mom, and then my aunt and cousin from Hawaii. So we
Okay.
stopped in Hawaii first.
But your
And then
mom was born in Okinawa.
my mom was born in Hawaii.
Okay, she was born in Hawaii, but the
Yes.
family heritage goes back to
Yes,
Okinawa.
Okinawa.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, so actually Higa is probably the most common name in
Is that
Okinawa.
right?
It's like Smith. Yeah.
Oh. Oh, well, okay. How
So if you
fun.
ever meet another Higa,
Yeah.
their family heritage is from Okinawa.
Okay, but they're not related to you
100%.
necessarily.
No, well, no, but
Mm,
yeah, that's where
mm,
they're from. So it's quite a well-known Okinawan name.
okay.
So
I did not
so
know.
now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in April, you went with your sis and your cousin or niece, and you go on this journey. You're like, hmm. So it was like a little
Yeah.
reconnaissance
Yes, yeah, yeah.
visit to see like,
Yeah.
oh, what could this be like, right? Because I can see I would want to do something like that if I was going to take my mother someplace, right? Because she has certain requirements. She needs help. I mean, she cannot walk. She needs wheelchair. She needs all this kind
Mhm.
of stuff. So I could definitely see that that was smart. And then you went there. You discovered, yeah, wow, this is really something I'd like to do with mom, with maybe her sibs. So now,
Mhm.
then you come on this vacation, you get your mom, you gather your aunt, and you yeah, you got the family, and you go to your vacation, stop through Hawaii, see some family, and then you go on to Japan. Let's talk about that. What did you discover?
So we met with Mr. Takemoto
Hmm?
and met his son and his daughter-in-law for the first time, and then two other staff members from the city hall who helped us above and beyond when we were there in April.
Mhm,
And then also I had asked my friend from Japan, Yuko, and then two other of my friends from Japan um, were able to come as well,
mm,
just for little translation help, and uh, it was great to have everybody there together, and
Mm,
just witnessing and being part of that gathering. And we don't speak much Japanese, and they
mm,
don't speak much English, but we were able to communicate some. I shared some of the documents that I had just picked up in Hawaii. My uncle gave me more documents that had more things, and
mm,
so the ladies from the city hall were very excited because there were things they had never ever seen, like receipts from 1904 to 1940
wow.
of money that my great grandfather had sent from Hawaii to Okinawa, back to somebody, I don't know,
Some
but
family member, maybe.
some family member. Yeah.
Mm,
So they had never seen those receipts, or didn't know that Sumitomo had a bank branch in Hawaii at the time. So, they, the ladies at the city hall run a like a historical, they don't run it, they work at, or they volunteer at a historical museum
mm.
in Okinawa. So they're so interested in these documents, and
Did they get to keep copies for
yeah, they
their own
made
thing? Yeah,
copies,
good.
and they're working on a book, so they want to know where the immigrants, the people who
Mm,
immigrated out of
yeah.
Okinawa, what happened to them. So
Mm,
that will be, I don't know when, in a few years probably, but
mm.
it was just nice to gather, even though everybody got sick afterwards.
Well, yeah, that happens. That happens when we all gather. But tell me, what do you think it was like for your mom to be there with these people and to experience this with you and her sister and your sister?
Yeah, yeah. I think, the dynamic was so different because it's not something that happens usually, to
No.
have us all there and in a different land.
Mm,
Um, and so I actually feel like when I talk about generational healing, I
mm,
think this was what was in store, because it brought up some things for my mom.
mm.
I think some old memories, and maybe traumas, and so things I feel started stirring. But at the time, being in Okinawa, I think she enjoyed just being all together,
Mm,
and uh, we didn't really do much
mm. You don't need to.
after that, but being together, and I really feel like there's something about land.
Mm,
Uh, I don't really understand
mm.
it all that much, but I think because we're from that land, and that, with the war, it was, uh, I think, traumatic for the people, and anytime you're around war,
Mm.
it affects everyone. So even
The
though I wasn't there, my mom wasn't there, but
it's still your
even,
heritage.
yeah, I mean, even my great grandfather had left before that, but
Mm.
there, I think there's still a tie there.
Oh, for sure. I believe in all that. I
Hmm.
believe that the land holds the truths, right? Our bodies retain the
Hmm.
truths. Our cells hold on to trauma, whether it's ours or it's not. We
Yeah.
hold on to these things. And you said that your mom had potentially some. I mean, she's not here, so she cannot speak for herself, and we mean only the utmost of respect for your mother, of course. And what that was like for her to have these feelings. What did it feel like for you to experience potentially her feeling these things?
Well, I actually, it wasn't until I came back that that realization,
Mm,
those possibilities, um, I became aware of them. So, for me being there, um, I was noticing how easy how it was easier for me to care for my aunt.
Mm,
than for my mom in a sense. Or actually, no, I take that back. I feel like it was easier for me to take care of my aunt and my mom
mm,
while we were there.
mm,
It was, and that's what I want to have. But then when we came back, I could feel some type of resistance in myself, in taking care of my mom, because I started thinking, oh, I saw her traveling, and she was sick, and I thought maybe I need to be more involved in this caring for her, because she lives a pretty independent life.
mhm,
But I started thinking, maybe I need to do more for her. Maybe she needs more help and assistance.
mm.
And as soon as I came back, which I remained a week later because my aunt needed to have emergency surgery, which was the whole twist.
Dun,
I was
dun,
like,
dun.
whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
So after all that, I had stayed an extra week, making sure, my because my cousin was there, but I didn't want her to stay by herself when I could I had the flexibility to be able to stay,
Sure.
so I
Help out.
stayed and I'm glad I did. I feel like just another presence
Mm.
helps,
Yes,
when you
of
when
course.
you're trying to regulate.
Supporting. Yeah.
Yeah, in support. So I came home a week later than planned, and I could feel that resistance of, you know, I want to help my mom, but I felt like there was a resistance in me. And because I noticed it, I thought, okay, let's get curious. Let's stay
Mm,
curious about
mm.
it.
Right.
Let's stay open. And what resulted was a conversation with my mom. It
Good.
was, it was spurred by a little frustration.
Mhm.
And, but um, after it, I really felt like my mom was holding a lot in.
Mm,
And also, it kind of confirmed some things about how I had been feeling growing up,
mm,
not feeling like I was wanted, not feeling like I, like I wasn't the joy that
mm,
parents hope for. And so I'm still integrating that right now. I'm not ready to share all the details, but I can tell you the results of, me understanding a little more of why I have the resistance, understanding my mom's reasons and where she was at. So I kind of knew part of the story, but this time she shared with I can see regret. I could see um like a helplessness. I could see, yeah, a vulnerability. So I think that emotion came through, and I can feel it landing differently on me. It's different from
mm.
hearing a story and really feeling a story. So maybe someday we can talk about it, but
Mm,
I view this as this is the beginning of healing. So as I heal with, I can't heal her on my own, but we
mm.
can do it together. We can have more conversations. I don't
Yeah.
want it to just be, well, that's what happened. you know,
Right.
I
Right.
want to work
Maybe.
more,
I think that's what happened, right? Not actually knowing the truths, or it's hard to ask questions. I know.
yeah, but I think this was like, she's 86. She's carried this regret, you
Mm,
know, and she could feel that, you
mm,
know, I, there was a distance between us. And you know, I mean, one thing I can say is that, yeah, I was not wanted.
Mm,
If there was a way to have abortion,
mm,
it would have happened,
mm.
so that
And so
much.
you've received that truth from her.
Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah, yeah. So that I had heard that before. So I had received that. And so, I'm piecing things together, and it's like, oh, no wonder I felt that way. But I didn't know the whole story, and
mhm,
her explanation of everything. And so, the
mm,
picture's getting clearer, and I'm understanding more of and it's about trusting myself too.
mm,
I had a feeling, and when I think about, why am I resisting? Why do I resist helping her? And
mhm,
I think it's, part of my little one is afraid, or is, like yelling, why
mm.
would you help her?
Yeah. Why help
But
her? She did. Look what she did.
yeah, exactly. Which, I'm not gonna stay there, but I'm seeing, okay, I get where that might come from, but
Mm,
I want to work through it. I want to at the end have this relationship where she's cleared, she's free,
yeah.
and I'm free.
You're free.
I can accept things happen. I
Yeah.
can accept that totally. I don't expect, um everything from her. I understand that love comes from source,
Mhm,
and it's we can nurture ourselves, but I do want to repair. I do want
mm,
to maybe get to a point where I can feel a closeness to her.
mm,
We have our relationship is very cordial. you know,
mm.
we don't disrespect each other,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say it's close. I wouldn't say it's nurturing, but I know she's there. I know
Mm,
she's there. And
mm,
she the same. Yeah, I think our family is like that. I wouldn't say we're emotionally close
mhm.
or intimate, but we are there, and we can rely on each other.
Yeah.
So the door just opened. That
Is
means
that
we're
Gracie?
in.
The kitty cat's in? Cat's in. She's I'm here.
uh,
Yeah. Wow. That is so powerful because, this is the crux. This is it. This is what love is. This is what love looks like.
mm,
And that
mm,
is, it makes me, I get like a frog in my throat
mm,
because it's so private and it's so
mm,
shared because you're not alone.
mm,
No way. And
mm.
it's thank you for
Yeah,
sharing.
yeah. I kind of went back and forth with how much to share, but like I said, this is a process. I'm integrating right at this moment. And I I do want to keep that conversation going. And when I talk about generational healing, it's mostly it's from me. It starts with me,
Mhm.
but we're tied. I think about how my mom felt when she was pregnant with me.
Mm,
It how hard that must have been, and the struggle, and the anger at my dad. And so
mm,
I think, that stems out to, oh, maybe that's why I've never married.
mm.
Maybe there was so much energy,
Yeah. Yes.
and so I look at it that way, of energy transfer,
Mm.
and you know kind of clearing that for myself and
Yes.
for her,
Good. Good.
like,
Well,
yeah.
because you're 60 years old, you just celebrated your 60th birthday on Halloween in Japan. And what you're saying is the key. You're holding the key.
Mm,
You hold the key to your freedom. And the interesting thing I think with that is, will we use it? This is the gilded cage that we are in with the padlock is locked and I'm inside the cage, right? Meanwhile, yeah, we're standing in the cage, but there's not even a lock on the cage door. And all we have to do, like Gracie just did, is open the door and then fly, right? When that is the key to the healing, the key to the conversations, the tough
Mm,
conversations, the shameful conversations, the potentially so hurtful conversations
mhm,
that, interestingly, you already knew the answer,
mm,
right? You
mhm,
knew in your
mhm,
body and in your weave, the valve not, I can't remember what it is, like in your entire body, that you weren't wanted, even though
mhm.
it's never been said. Like nobody said
Yeah,
those words. So
yeah,
something had to shift in order for those words to be said. What had to shift was you. And you
yeah,
had to be able to open up your mouth, right? Your heart, your throat chakra. You had to open up all of this and
yeah,
be ready to hear that answer from your mother.
yeah,
And
and
girl,
yeah.
wow.
And that's the thing too of speaking the truth, like instead of shoving my feelings down and say,
Mm,
"Oh, you should just serve her uh no
mm,
matter how you feel."
yeah.
I could have done that and maybe I've done that many times in the
Hmm.
past,
Yeah.
but this time I spoke it,
Mm,
of how it was hard sometimes
mm,
to do these things for her, and I was struggling with it.
so good.
I just spoke it just exactly how I was feeling,
Mm,
and there's a little extra frustration energy
mm,
that didn't need to be there, but it
yeah.
was,
It was.
and it's
And
okay.
you needed that. That was your way.
Mhm.
We do the best we can. We do the
Yeah.
best. Your mom did the best she
Yes.
could. You're doing the best
Absolutely.
you can.
Yeah.
And then how, right? The ultimate truth of wanting to open our hearts to be able to accept whatever other people, we don't have to accept it, right? Whatever people say to us. I mean, as long as it is their truth, it's going to come into
Mm,
us and we get to process it the way we do. But I think the ultimate honor to ourselves first, right? Always tending to self, because if we do not take care of self, we cannot take care of others. And that
mm,
is knowing the time is now.
mhm.
Your mom is 86 years old. My mother's 87 years old. What are we
That's
waiting
right.
for? We got
That's right.
questions. We need to ask them. We've got to ask for forgiveness. Ask it.
Yeah.
It happened yesterday. My mom and I was frustrated, and like you were saying the same thing. Like I was, my frustration it has nothing to do with her, but because I'm driving in the car with her, and I'm so mad at these idiots that live up the street that don't take care of their dogs properly, which makes me insane. And I was being short with her, and this
Mm,
is how I know that she has grown. She
mm,
has grown, and she says to me, "Are you mad at me?" And I'm driving like, "No, why?" She goes, "Well, it feels like it." I'm
mm,
like, "Oh, well, no, I'm not mad at you. I'm sorry. I must be taking it out on you. I'm mad at the owner of the people who don't take care of that dog." And so I was like, "You know what, Mom? I am so
mm,
sorry for being a bitch. I'm
mm,
sorry for being a bitch right now." First of all,
mm.
that conversation would never, ever have happened, ever,
Yeah,
never have happened before.
yeah.
So my mom has grown and she's starting to use her voice for the first time in her life, because my father was he was the one that ruled the roost. He was the one that decided everything. He said, "This is how it's going to
Mhm.
be." And she's just like, "Okay, whatever. I got 5 kids to take care of, whatever. Sure, whatever." And
Right.
so she took care of business, right? That was just
Yeah.
how it was. And now at 87, she's starting to say, "Hey, wait a minute. Are you mad at me?"
Yeah.
And it's like a
Yes.
slap to my reality of like, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, stop, 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 stop. I'm talking
Oh.
to my mother. I'm talking to another human being right now. And I can't,
Mm,
I need to reel it in. I need to take control of myself." And this is the power of showing ourselves that we can change. We
Mhm.
can do better when we know better. And you talking about the land, the importance of the land that your people come from, how does it impact you, the importance of the stories and the stories that your mother has and carries with her, and that you carry with you, that maybe potentially I didn't get married. Maybe this is why I didn't get married. You kidding me? You're 60 years old. You got another 60 years left. You're having a midlife realization download from the big guy himself
Yeah,
saying, whoa, do you
yeah, yeah,
realize the power
yeah,
of what is happening in
yeah,
and around you right now?
yeah.
God, I love that.
Yeah, me too. I
I
mean,
love that for you and your
the
mama.
feeling I had when we were in Okinawa, the feeling I had is that, oh my, I'm in a healthy body. I'm
Mm,
in a healthy mind. I'm able to drive around. Able to assist whoever needs assistance.
mm,
And I feel like I have been preparing for that.
mm,
And in the same way, I feel like because this came up so suddenly, but
mm,
suddenly, but no, I feel like it's been planned all along. It
mhm.
was going to happen. It
Yep.
just was, the right timing. And ever since this was just last a few days ago, not even a week ago, this new information for me, and it's changed things, and I'm actually excited that we can grow together, just like,
Yeah.
you know, I've been learning how to assist other people. My cousin lives here with us now. I've been learning how to communicate in a way that he can hear. I've
Mm,
been discovering his strengths and, what he's able to do, what is a struggle for him.
mm,
So those kinds of things, and I'm like, okay, I can do that.
yeah.
Uh and I can do that with my mom as well. I'm
Yep.
not going to ignore the feelings that come up. I'm not going to ignore when there's resistance. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to
Mm,
stay curious
good.
about it,
Yeah.
and really tend to that little one
Good.
that maybe not might not feel safe quite yet,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, right. I mean, you're just learning again. It's like our little girl or our teenager or our adult, like the three different stages that we go to when we're feeling threatened or scared. And if you're going to your little girl has healing. She needs to be
Hmm.
healed. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
it may be you that's going to have to do that. It's not going to come
Yeah.
from your mom, possibly.
Right. Right.
Tell me about you went to, hold on, I wrote it down. Okinawa Watsu Center, that
Yes.
you and
Oh
your
my
mom did
gosh.
this together, right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
explain what that is. I want to hear because
Thank
you did that
you.
with her.
Thank you for bringing that up because it was something totally forgot I wanted to talk about. Is Watsu is a modality that is body modality of healing done in the water. So there's different. Watsu is like you emulate. It's kind of, when I first heard it, it emulates that sensation of being in the womb.
Mm,
So you are in the water with your therapist, and you just relax. You
mm,
just surrender. You don't need to do a thing.
mm,
And they float you around. They stretch you, it's a little bit of massage, but um to me the value of water is that it's a great um conduit,
mm,
and so first of all, I was surprised that my mom said yes, that she would be willing to try it. She has experienced a different modality called aqua stretch, which is a little bit more therapeutic, a little bit more you need to be more engaged as a
mhm, mhm.
client or
Okay,
guest, whatever. But for this, I just told her, you don't have to do anything, you just relax. And so
sounds
she
good.
said, yes, I'll get in a little swimsuit and go. And as we were doing it, so they had two people at a time. So it was me and my mom in the pool at one time in separate sides of the pool. So we didn't know what was going on with each other.
Yeah.
But as I was there, I was feeling like it was significant because we're both there receiving this treatment at the same time in the same water.
Mhm.
And for whatever reason,
Mm.
now as I look back, I'm like, of course, it's emulating the womb.
Mm.
It's some healing that needed to happen,
Yes.
for me and her, I believe.
Yeah.
So those kinds of things, I don't have any kind of explanation for it other than it's a shared experience. For her part, she felt relaxed. She felt
Mhm.
relaxed,
Mhm.
and that she could stand up straighter afterwards.
Okay.
But to me, it showed me
Could
her.
you stand up straighter afterwards too, with
Yes.
more pride? Mm.
Yes. Physically and emotionally and
Mm.
everything. It was to me, I felt like that was a good call,
Yeah.
and an experience that was a unique experience to have.
Feels like a karmic moment to me.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
absolutely right that this was divine timing, this whole trip, which we knew. We talked about that before you went. We're like, there's going to be shifts happening
yeah.
in you,
We did.
around you, with
Yes,
you on this
yes,
journey because you're being called to go. And
yeah,
you were called to invite your mother and to invite the auntie
yeah,
and your sister. No, I mean, I don't
yeah.
believe that there's ever any such thing as an accident, right? I mean, this
No,
this whole synchronicity and kismet and all of it, it's magic.
yeah,
This is magic.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I couldn't have guessed what would happen.
No. What is happening? I mean, this is you have just stepped into the best year of your life.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm kind of contemplating now this, I have my own coach and she called it, and I expressed a little bit of my resistance, and this was before everything kind of opened up for me, and she called it sacred custodial care. And I thought, yeah, that seems to be what I'm kind of stepping into. I have that custodial care over Gracie,
The cat.
my cat, yeah. And
Hmm.
so, but to me, the difference is it's sacred.
Mm.
It's not only about getting her food to eat or getting her more Kleenex or whatever.
Mm.
It's a little it's more than that.
I mean, think about that shift just by adding that word to something that maybe we do every day. Well, you know what? This is my job. It's my responsibility. How something changes inside of us when we take it on as sacred,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it becomes so
Yes.
much more important, so much more valuable, so much more, I don't know. That's, I think that it is, again, what we said before, but the highest honor of tending to something, someone. I mean, any sentient being deserves to be seen, valued, and heard, loved, included, right?
Mm.
This is it. And you are living right now, and we are getting to witness this this process and this step, just a step, right? And the step is in the direction of your life's path that was already going to be happening anyway. I mean, it was, but to be present and to see it when you're in it versus looking in retrospect 15 years from now saying, wow,
Mm.
when mom was 86 and we went to Japan and we were in that pool together and she was having her service and I was having my service. And I really wish I would have said something to her then, but now it's
Mm.
too late.
Mm.
It's too late.
Mhm.
We're not too busy. We're
Mm.
not too busy. And this comes back full circle then to more most of the people, where when we say we're so busy, I don't have time to, I can't take care of my elders. I don't have time to visit them. Like, listen, I got my own family, all the stories, right, that we tell ourselves, we'll never, I'm telling you, time is the new currency. And if we think that anything other than this moment right now isn't the most sacred, we're telling ourselves a lie.
Yeah.
Right now, right here, this is what we've got.
Yeah.
And I am so thankful that you shared your story, your heart, your beautiful heart with us today. I'm going to ask you, is there anything, I know there's somebody listening that needs to hear whatever else you're going to say right now. Tell me anything that's on your heart that you want to get off right now.
It's a beautiful journey, and I really do believe that noticing where our resistance lies, staying curious and open to it, I think that will take us a long way, to really just recognize it. Sometimes there's good reason for resistance. We don't have to shove it down,
Yeah.
and behave as we should, quote unquote. So,
Mm.
honoring ourselves and taking it all in. We're whole beings, mind, body, spirit. So, like we said, it starts there. I'm confident. I am so confident as I continue working on this, getting myself to the place that I want to be, what kind of relationship I want to have. It's gonna impact those around me.
Oh, it already is. Everything you do impacts everybody around you, right? Whether we do the
Yeah,
work or not, whether
that is
we
true.
do the work or not.
Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes, yes.
then if
That is so
we
true.
choose to feel that resistance piece, if we choose to look at it, that's there's the secret. That's the secret.
Yeah, yeah,
Because you gotta look at it to get through it, right? Again,
yeah.
it's the mirror, it's the reflection. The resistance is the mirror of what is it that we push away from the most, which will continue to bring to us until we actually face it, the shadow, right? There's a dog outside barking. Hi, doggy. Don't know if you can hear him or not. Beautiful. This is why I love speaking with you. And I know that you've had your own podcast before, and I knew that you were comfortable with the format. And I'm like, I want you to be my guest. I want you to be my first guest after my 1-year anniversary of being a podcast.
Year number 2.
My girl, I'm in year 2. That's right.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
I love what you're doing too.
Thank you.
And I love that when coming on, because I know what you're looking for, I'm like, yeah, I gotta be myself.
Thank
I gotta
you.
be myself. And,
No
yeah,
masks. No masks
no mask,
required.
no mask, no mask. Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
And trust me, I feel that whoever's listening is feeling that, because there's enough of that out there. And I know that you and I are both very much for showing up exactly as ourselves, who we are today, however we are today on our
Yeah.
path,
Yeah.
lighting the path for one another as we go.
Yeah.
This is how the collective
Yeah. I love
gets
it. I
better.
love it. Because as we're on the same path.
All of us are.
Just being with you just helps me to remember that. So thank you for reminding me just by being you.
Thank you for reminding me that feel into the resistance, move with it, feel it, taste it, understand what is it, right? I mean, by asking the questions, because as always, the truth will set us free. The truth will set us free. My beloved friend, thank you for today. Thank you for your time. And you are magical.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you give your mom a little sweet kiss from me too. You don't have to tell her it's from me, but I just give her a little squeeze from me.
for
Yeah.
myself.
Thank you. Thank you for today, honey.
Yes. Thank you.